Hello everyone, Teacher Gaming here. Welcome back to another video. Today I'm gonna do a deep dive into the Orks faction and how they are working, especially considering legendary characters. So if you're ready, let's take a closer look.
Impurity shall be our armor, hate shall be our weapon, immortality shall be our reward.
But before we get into that everyone, I want to point your attention to the top of the screen. It might be a little bit hard to read, but it says Lord Boss 9k. Enter the code, get some free rewards, because Lord Boss has hit 9k. So make sure you get that done. Also, I hope you're doing very well in the tracking of the Sidejacks missions, as you can see over to the side. 20 missions plus a bonus. Hope you're getting there. I'm doing fine myself. Got a big stack done yesterday, and we'll do some more today. With that out of the way, and thoroughly out of the way, let's jump into the Orc faction actually, because I want to talk a little bit about the Orcs. I looked into them considering the upcoming Dante event, where some of them are scoring really well. They've been recently reworked. I wouldn't be surprised if they get a Machine of War at some point. And I just overall think they're a cool faction because everyone loves a good warg. So I'm gonna jump in and start with Snot, who's also the one I've worked the most on. He is very close. Actually, just needs some orbs. I really like Snot. He is really fun to use, as you all know. His active ability, get him runs. Summon one Groot in each adjacent hex that also has an enemy unit adjacent to it. Newly spawned Groots can immediately attack an enemy in melee, but cannot move this turn. Enemy units attacked by a Groot this way are taunted for one turn. And they have okay stats. And then we have his passive. They ignore the battle fatigue, which is honestly what is the most important about them, that you have. If you get them summoned, you really don't want Snoglogga to die, because otherwise they're just poof, going away. And you can have up to 5, so that's really awesome. And also the fact that you have his Quick Hound that deals additional damage, so that's really good for Terminus armor. So overall, I really like Snog a lot. He has free movements. I like his stats; they're okay. I feel he does good amount of damage, especially considering his Squig Hound. And yeah, also Orks, we're gonna talk about their campaign, and we're also gonna go over to the Tacticus planner to take a look, so that's what you can expect to see in this video. Next up we have Gibba, who I feel is undervalued by many, because Gibba can actually repair stuff. And remember, they all have get stuck in, that's their racial trait. For every 2 hits this unit scores with an attack against an enemy within 2 range, it has a 30% hit to score an additional hit. If 2 or more friendly orcs or 4 or more friendly targets are adjacent to the target, the chance is increased to 100%. So Gibba also has a summon, which means for the legendary events with no summons, they aren't that great. They can still be picked, but they aren't that great. Now, this tank here I actually really like, because the longer you can hold it, the better it is. Calls in a Grot tank in adjacent free hex. The Grot tank cannot move in its first turn, but can immediately attack an enemy in range. And that's the nice part about Gibba. He can move and then he can summon it. And you can see here the stats, and it gets better stats the longer a battle has gone on. And that has Blast, which is free hits, and it has the physical, can move 2, has battle fatigue, vehicle, mechanical. And yeah, overall I really like him. His passive, all friendly adjacent units have additional armor. We like that, though mean you don't really want to match up with psychics, with the psychers. I really like him. 4 hits again. And the best part is they are all quite easy to build through their campaign. Now we come to Snappawrecka. And this is why orcs are a good investment, in my opinion. The fact that many of them you actually get free. You don't need to hope for a pull. The game just gives them to you. Snapper you get from Arena. Snog you get from salvage runs, and yeah, you can also then, of course, once they are unlocked, you can get them through the onslaught to keep getting their shards. So Snapper was one of the most recent changes. Dagger, dagger, dagger. 6 hits, projectile damage to an enemy within range of 3. Adds 2 hits for each time Snappawrecka was repaired this battle, but cannot exceed 16 hits in total. I actually forgot about this, so yeah, that's really nice. If the target is defeated, leftover hits are allocated to random enemy units within 3 hexes. Snappawrecka also loses 15% of its maximum health. It always loses health basically, so this is one that you really want to repair. But Snapper works with mech teams because he is a mechanical, and that means he can be repaired if you do a full mech team. You might not want to do that. And then we have explodes, it deals damage, it also has big targets, so yeah, cannot really get any bonuses when covering. Then we have the passive, power trip, normal attacks ignore armor. If Snappawrecka is at full health, his normal attacks additionally score +1 hit and reduces the target armor by 86. So the same up here that it ignores, the same it reduces target armor. So that's pretty nice, but it also causes him to lose some max health. So that is if he is in melee, I believe. Could also just be his range, but yeah. Overall, nice unit. The only problem is you really need to repair it. So, and you get him from arena, and you always want to be doing your arena because that gives you raid tickets. So you don't need to spend Blackstone on that. Then we have Tank Smasher, who is an interesting one, I feel. He has Get Stuck In as well. He has Beast Slayer, Big Target, and Vehicles. He deals damage. And he has an additional 10% to block 20% of his max health as damage, so that's always nice. And then he has Unstoppable that he can just run around. And let's take his passive first. Smash Ahead. When he traverses 2 or more hexes during his turn, then he gains more damage for his normal attacks and take less damage for his next turn. So that's also pretty nice. That's what gives him his tankiness. The only problem is that Gibba can only repair, he cannot heal, and that is why there's a little bit mismatch in the synergy for Snog and for Tank Smasher. Then we have his Unstoppable Momentum. I don't really use this one that much. Charges in one of 6 directions, so basically anywhere. We just have a visitor. My cat is craving some attention. And yeah, until he hits an obstacle or a big target, he just keeps going ahead. And any enemy hits by the charge takes 1 hit of direct damage, increased by 18 damage for each hex traversed from the starting hex to the enemy. Affected enemies get pushed and suppressed for 1 round, so that's really nice because, as we all know, suppressed means 1 less movement and cannot overwatch. Healing removes the effect though, but yeah. A big target is stunned for one round instead. Friendly units are also displaced but take no damage or negative effects. So that's Tank Smasher. He's okay, but doesn't really work that great due to not being able to be healed. So you kind of want to move him around in a creative way. Well, hello, bandit. Well, you are certainly no orc. And then the last one is Boss Gulgortz, who I really like. He is so fun to use. Get stuck in, big target, crushing strike. So yeah, if he stands still, then he does more damage. So if you engaged or get engaged and he survives, then way more damage from him. Final Vengeance, he has that as well, and Mechanical, so he can actually be repaired by Gibba. And let's go off with his passive first. Light him up. Whenever Gulgortz attacks, the Grot Gunner deals an additional 3 hits projectile damage to the target. If the target is defeated, leftover gunner hits are allocated to any random enemy within 3 hexes. So that's pretty nice. I like it. Gives you more damage because he also has only 2 in melee and 1 in range, but then you get the 3 extra hits. So a total of either 5 or 4 hits. And then we have his Wog. If Boss Gulgortz has not moved, this is important. He summons 2 Orc boys in 3 adjacent hexes until the end of this turn. All friendly Orc All friendly orcs and friendly units adjacent to boss Gulgortz gain +1 movement, and their normal melee attacks deal plus 250 damage and score 1 hit. Of course, this scales. Boss Gulgortz then charges a targeted enemy in movement range, performs a normal melee attack against it. All friendly orc boys take a turn. And you can see the orc boys down here, and let's just check them. They have physical, they have projectile, they have the sticker bomb, their abilities. So yeah, I really like him, especially because he can be repaired, and overall really fun character to use. Get a good amount of crit on him, so yeah, that's really great. Now let's jump over into the actual campaign and talk about why their campaign is actually quite nice. So I almost finished it, the Elite campaign, but the thing about it is what you need for upgrading them, a lot of it can be found in their own Elite campaign. So especially this one is their legendary. You have this one available for you in spot 38, so that's quite far ahead. Then you also have this one in 37. This is actually probably the worst because it's so far to unlock it, but you really want to get here. Like a lot of these you don't really care about, but this one, 37, is the one you really want to get to. And then we go a little bit further back. You also sometimes need this, so that's always nice, and other characters can use those as well. Then we have some shackles here. We have, I believe this is Space Wolves. You also have Runes of Fate. I would assume this is Thousand Suns, maybe. So you actually have quite a good amount of legendary over here. Booms of Paragons. I'm not sure where that goes. But this is where it's really interesting because it's actually not that hard getting them to gold due to the fact that you can farm all three of their needed ones fairly early on, like midway through their elite campaign, and also you manage to get that here. So you have their legendary item that they need to be upgraded to diamond and really push content in their own elite campaign. And by just doing the campaign, you can actually get there. Like you don't really need to go out and elsewhere do stuff because they just get that, and also they have some stuff over here, not really worth it though. But yeah, again here other factions need this as well, the ancient runes. So you just get a lot of good stuff when you actually do it, because let's just see here, this is what he needs. And then we have over here again, and this is a diamond one, basically needs the same as when you go from gold. So overall, it's just so great. You really get a lot of stuff that you need. Let's take one of those who I haven't upgraded. So basically gold one here. As you can see, you can farm a lot of it. This one you can get early on in the Necrons, I believe it is. I believe it's either number 6 or number 7. So again, you are doing fairly well. Let's see where this one is. No, I cannot press it. So yeah, you can really farm it a lot. Now let's head over to the Tacticus Planner and talk about legendary events and the reason why I believe you should invest into your orcs. So here we are on Tacticus Planner, and after a short eating break, had to feed the bandit and his sister. We're gonna start here with looking at the master table to take an overlook. Now I've sorted by rank because that way my characters show up better. And first off, I just want to point out saying points, Rivas is far ahead along with some other ones. So yeah, not saying that they are the absolute best, but they can score some really interesting ones, especially considering the characters, like they can score pretty decently for Khan as well. And I know there's only one round left of Khan, but if you are maybe struggling a little bit, then do consider it. But let's go through it, and then maybe you'll think that it's worth the investment or not. You can always let me know in the comments down below. So let's start off with Snog here, who scores in total in the 4 legendaries. Now, Pantomime has had a second run, so there's one left. Dante we haven't had out left. Karn has had 2 runs, probably the one getting done soon. I would assume we have Dante, then we have a Mephiston, and then we have a Karn event. That's how I would imagine they go. So probably 2 months, maybe. Um, I hope it's not 1 month, but I cannot envision that. 1.5 at the very earliest. But basically, if we look here, Pantomime, Snog isn't really that good, can only score 212 points. Can score 409 for Dante, which is quite nice. And then 416 for Karn, and then 348 for Mephiston. So Pantomime cannot really score that well, but that also the same for Gulgortz, as you can see here. Really scoring well for Karn at overall 1250. Dante can score here, 314. That's okay, but not that much. But yeah, again, Karn, you can score a lot. And also synergy with other mech teams, and also just in clearing stuff in certain lanes. So yeah, let's go down here, and down here you will find Gibba for 1625. Pantomime can score 357. Again, only 1 run left. Not that much. For Dante can score 439. So that's pretty nice. 481 for Karn and 348 for Mephiston. But overall can score way more than the others. Again, it's way less than Revis at almost 2000, but it's a nice one. Then we have Smasher down here at 1215, so also fairly in line with Gulgortz, 257. And then we have 314, 386, and 258. So if there's one that you don't really need to build, I would say it's Smasher. Again, that's also like he's the character I like the least when I covered them. So, but you can always build him to some extent, at least to gold 1. But beyond that, I might not put that much investment into him. And then we have Snappa down here. So 380, so a little bit better than some of the others. 187 for your pantomime. Really bad, honestly. And I just realized the fact that my camera was blocking a little bit. So let's just scroll down. So here we are. Then 404 for Dante. So again, they're upcoming. Pretty okay. Karn, 526. So that's pretty good. And then Mephiston, 263. So overall, the characters for Mephiston aren't really that great, but for Dante and for Karn, they can score better. And let's actually go in and look at them. So let's go in and look over here at Dante event, which is starting soon. So first off, no Cenas in Alpha, so cannot be used there. Instead, we're going to go to Alpha, where there's no Chaos, and look here. You can choose 4 of them. Maximum 45 max free hits gets 45 points. Hope you can see the icons clearly. Then here, no power. They all are available for that, so that's pretty nice. You can use them as a team. You can also swap out Tank Smasher, put Reavers in, so you have some more synergy. Then over here, get stuck in, the only ones who can score. So basically, if you want to get points for this, then that's where you have to go. And 90 points is actually a lot. And Snap is also available for chain damage. So overall, that's pretty nice. And as you can see, I have a lot of stuff to work with in my Deep Strike and my chain, but that's a topic for a different day. Then we're gonna look at the Gamma. And again here, you can see no power, where they actually fit in well with the World Eaters. So there was just a small break in the video, as I'm sure you noticed. Just had to stop a sibling fight. Gotta love when that happens. Anyways, we're moving on here. Minimum 4 hits. You can use Gibba here, but doesn't really synergize that well. One thing, however, that's nice about them showing up is that this is a no Imperial, so you can just use them if you want to just push ahead, clear stuff without having scoring some of the points. And you can combine them. Again, here, Gibba, you can combine with Rivas, who's really good. You can also combine over here. So that's really great. Like, let's say you could take No Smasher and then you could have Rivas. Over here you have Gibba and Snot, who are also scoring really well. So that's 95 points there. And that was Dante, so that's how you can score with them. Then again, Pantomime, they weren't really that great, so let's go over to the current line. We're going to start off with Gamma, no Thousand Suns. Here you have Snot, you have Gibba, and you have Smasher, so no mechanical. You have three of them. They can work okay. You can combine them with some chaos. Then you have no flying, where they also can score some easy points. And again, you can actually use all five. So they come right back in as a team. No physical. Again, this one is a really common one that we see many places. Physical, sorry, not no physical, physical. Physical and power are actually something that we see a lot, or no power. So you can always expect that to show up unless they throw us a curveball suddenly and remove that, but that's almost always there. And it's also with the 20 missions, we often have some physical damage, so I know you can score that many different ways, but it's also a way to get it there. And Mesa here combined, and then basically there's nothing over here for the two of those, but that was the Gamma lane. Then we can look at Beta, where there's no Tyranids, no Terminus armor, so again you can use some of them. Snot, Gulgortz, Gibbascrapz, and I believe also Tank Smasher here. No big target, so you can use Snot, you can use Gibba, but you cannot use the two mechanicals, so you would not use Gibba here, but Snot really well with the other ones. You get some summons, help you soak up some damage. Then you have the minimum 3 hits. Again, Snot is here again. Snapper, Gibba, and Smasher, but again, I would say Snot is actually the one that you really want to go for, and then Snap and Gibba. Then we have Mechanical over here, 120 points, and this is where Gulgortz and Snapper actually combine really well, also considering Gulgortz can summon, so that does help you in some regard. Now I definitely need to bring up my Aleb Null. As you can see, I don't have that many mechs. So that was the beta line. Then we have the alpha line, no Imperials, no Psychic. Again, they can score points here. No summons. Technically, you can use Gulgortz if you don't use this active. Then we have ranged. We also always see that, so you can use Gulgortz again. And you have some combo with some mech here. Then we have resilient. Nobody over there. And then we have the max one hit where you can use Gulgortz. So that was Karn. Again, they can be thrown in with other teams, mixed match, and also against summons with Snot is really nice. That's also why I value him the highest, even though Gibba can score more points. But Snot is really nice also in other game modes. He can sometimes be good for soaking up damage in a guild war, where you have to go in and do something. Then minimum 2 hits against Snot is here, Gibba is here, Snap is here, and Smasher is here. So that's really nice. Then we have melee only. Again, Snot is really nice. We have Gibba and we have Smasher. Then flying, they don't follow into that. Then we have power, they also do not go into that, and also no psychic. So that was basically a rundown of why I believe it's good to invest into orcs. They have been given reworks. We would probably see their traits coming more to the front. As you can see, Snot is normally one that can be used in many different things. And also, again, you can just use them to progress, or you can combine them. Many have a Reavers, so you can do some mech teams throw in there, and then you can push some content as well. So overall, considering everything, I believe orcs are a good team to invest into. Maybe not the top priority, but they do have a future. Otherwise, they wouldn't have given them such a rework. And again, I think they will get a Machine of War soon. Just my stomach, my guess, my gut feeling could probably be way off, but I would say Necron is the next one that we get, and then I think we might be able to get an Orc one, um, to be encouraged into actually use them, and that would probably give some synergy there. So yeah, that's just my thought process. Again, they have reworked them. They want us to invest into it. I think they might try to say, okay, you don't want to invest yet. Well, let's give you more reason. and it's already a fully fledged team. So yeah, let me know in the comments down below. What do you think? What do you think about a video as this with the deep dive into the legendary events and where you can farm the different gear? Again, I believe that's also a really motivating selling point. The fact that you can farm them and their gears so well in their own campaign really is a big plus for them. Let me know, and I'll see you on the next video.